down in the den, so go tell a friend. The best podcast on earth's about to begin. We got jokes and news and movie reviews. After Dark NC-17 with the crew. Interviews with the best artists around. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Welcome back to Down in the Den. It's your boy Mars, aka Marlon Beardo, the bearded weirdo, the Stella Rosa Casanova, the creator of culture and the should night of this podcast game. And I am back with a true friend of the Den, one of the most talented artists we've had on in quite some time. I want you guys at home, if you haven't watched the first episode, stop what you're doing, go back, watch the first episode, come back here, and then you can learn what's going on so you'll be up to date. For those who are familiar with this young king that's coming on to bless us today, I want to give a warm Down in the Den welcome back to Jarmar Green. I know y'all hear us clapping out there.
Hey,
brother, welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing, man?
Man, Mars, thank you so much, man. Round two, man. I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't be more blessed to be here. A lot of things are happening, man. A lot of moving parts. Still moving parts from the last time we talked, but even more moving parts since then, man. I'm so happy to be sharing the space.
Absolutely. As I always say, evolution is the only solution. If we don't grow, we're falling backwards. So I'm so happy and to catch up with you. And of course, see what's crack-a-lacking. So first of all, since the last time we spoken, how are you? One of our we do themes every season. In this half of the season, we have two themes. Number one, mental health, and number two, legacy. So before we even get into the music, how you been doing, man? It's been a crazy few months since the last time we spoke. How you been doing?
Bro, don't even get me started about my mental health because, hey, you got politics just causing me just to have all kinds of emotions, all kinds of processes to think. And, sometimes it's even scary just to go outside. You know what I'm saying? I have people out that are going, traveling. They want to go to Mexico. You go to Mexico, get in a resort, but you can't even do that right now, man. It was like, what's going on, bro? Like they blowing up gas stations, blowing up buses and shit like that. So that's on the top of my head. And I realizing that because it's just been like, what the hot topic was, man. It's just been the hot topic of that leader getting killed, and then the whole gang, that whole Mexican gang just terrorizing the cities, terrorizing the airports, terrorizing tourists and everything like that. And I got a coworker that was just talking about going to Mexico next week. They fly out Saturday. I'm like, are you serious? That's ground zero right now. I can't believe that. So that's the top of my head right now. So yeah, protect yourself, protect your family. And what I'm saying, that's what's been just running through my head. Besides that, getting to the money, getting to my creative. I've gotten so many different works of art just in the works. As you know, my studio is like, I got my office, my gaming right here, but if I turn right there is my studio. And I just been over there just getting all my feelings, getting all my thoughts out. And my last song I just recorded, it was like, I'm angry. And what am I angry about? I'm angry about the ingredients they putting in our food. I'm angry about these people's parents and grandmas getting kidnapped and they don't know where they at, and you live in like a $2 million house. Well, I can go on for days about how I just feel like the world is unsafe, but you just got to control what you can control, right? That's the mental block, bro. If you can control what you can control, if you lock your door at night, man, if you go to places that are a little safer, that have the same amenities, you might be all right, man. And that's where my mental is at, man. And protect your gut, protect your mind, and you keep it moving, man.
Absolutely. You protect your peace, even if you need a piece. Protect
your peace. Yeah, I seen this commercial, man, where they were like, I can't go nowhere without my banana. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about a banana? They mean that gun, bro. They calling the gun a banana.
That's banana clip. And one monkey don't stop those shows. So sometimes you gotta give them a banana every now and then. And
I feel that.
As could be, but you're absolutely right. You have the skin color to offend. It gets very scary out there. I used to always laugh about, man, my hair is so curly. Now I'm like, am I gonna get mistaken for a non-citizen?
Yeah.
I've never.
They taking our neighbors left and right, man. We don't even know.
Right.
they just had like a fundraiser just not like over the weekend at a coffee shop. They rose $10,000 in just 4 hours to combat this shit. That's how you know it's serious, bro. There's not a lot of things like that can really raise that type of money, but when you are taking families and you're having this whole power move to like have these people with guns come in and take people and then try to send them back. But really, when they take them, that's only the beginning of the process, bro. They'll ship them somewhere and they don't even know. The family doesn't know. They don't even know where they're going, and they can end up in a different state.
Countries before, they've always been here, so it's a time to, as artists, really time to focus our voice and our strength and our power, because
you got to.
And it's very warming to me to see that we are who I thought we were. A lot of people in power, obviously, power corrupts, absolutely, and absolute power obviously corrupts. But the people on the ground, most people have the same sentiment. These are our neighbors. These are the people that, especially if I got a lot of friends and family out on the West Coast. My Latinx brothers and sisters, some of the most welcoming, loving people that you ever want to meet. Come over, have some carne asada, come over, listen to our music, and come over and share our culture. So to see what's going on, if it's an artist, it's going to make you angry. Most artists have a compassionate spirit, so it's going to make you angry, and now it's really channeling that anger into something positive. And I do believe, like I said, we are who we thought we are when it comes to, as a people, just kind of uniting and rejecting this, separation and rejecting this hate that's going on.
We've seen that shit before, man. As you and I, we're brothers, bro. We've seen that shit not in our lifetime, but in our generation, bro. And it's fucked up. And I'm so happy because I get over there and start recording, bro. I got writer's block. I don't know what to write next. Now I know what to write, bro. Now I know what to write about. I know what to speak about. I know I need to make this known. Like people from other countries, like they look at the U.S. and they like feel bad for us. And why is because I feel bad for us, bro. I feel bad for myself. I feel bad for the people that don't look like me, that don't look like an American, that don't look like, that look like they just came over or whatever like that. But the people that just came over, bro, that's the basis of our culture. That's the basis of who America is and how you come here to grind your ass off and you make something out of nothing, man. And I've been rapping about that particular line, making something out of nothing for my whole life. And now it's like people come over here and make something out of nothing and they get punished by that, bro. And I hate that. I hate that.
And just the arrogance of what's going on, looking at these guys who are untrained, unqualified, couldn't even qualify to be Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Right.
And they're sitting there thinking they have just absolute immunity, and they're treating it such. And it's very, very Germany, World War II-ish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely scary. How is that? And you mentioned it's giving you inspiration to write. How has that really influenced what you're doing to the core? Because it makes it almost, when I go to create, I always look at my pillars. It always helps me. And so sometimes when I'm writing, I say, what would Marvin Gaye say if he was 30 years old today? What would his what's going on be? And I can only imagine, obviously I'm no Marvin Gaye, but I can only imagine what would come to mind. How has that influenced you lately with your creation?
Yeah, like I like that you said Marvin Gaye, because like you want to tap into people that really like built the foundation of, like, because he lived through a time where there was a significant difference between what we know in our culture compared to when he was making music and releasing it. Now, don't get me wrong. White people, black people, Mexican people, Asian people, it don't matter who you are. And if you're tapped into R&B and music, you know who Marvin Gaye is, right? That music is unbound. But now, I hope. But now, like it's really like it's fuck everything, dude. There's like an immediate it's an immediate emergency happening, like in every which way you look, bro. Whether you look at politics or whether you look like, when you look at politics and you look at like the genetic warfare that's happening in our food and agriculture, and Like, it's like, that's what my mind is at, man. Like, I no longer can like tap in to like what they did back in the past, because it was all about revolution. It was all about, but now it's like, dude, we need a revolution in everything. We need a revolution from our politics. We need a revolution for our food. We need we need like a revolution in our even going to work. Like, why in most countries when you have a kid, you get paternity leave, and then when you hear, you put your kid in a system like daycare. Like, that's like, people from across the world feel sorry for us about that. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like, when I write music now, I'm like, yeah, it's fun to write music over a really awesome beat, but now it's like I'm tapping into what is the pain and how we can really tap into that and get mad about it, and then like change something about ourselves and control what we can control and change what we can do differently, and then move forward. And then man, everything like equates differently when you start to do that, because people start feeding off that energy to change and feeding off that energy to be better. And you can see it, bro. People are looking at the news and realizing like, man, I need to straighten up. Like, I don't want to fall into line with shit like what's going on. Like, there's no like, people going like toe to toe with anybody. Like, it's like you're going toe to toe with the government at this point.
Yeah.
Or if you're going toe to toe with somebody individual, your mindset is so small. You need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they show us these things on the news. They show us these things and to keep us away from what's really important, man. And then they like drown us with toxins like that are just everywhere in our food, in our whatever it may be, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna range it, but I get mad about that shit. I get passionate and mad about that shit, man.
You're absolutely right, and I'm so glad. Like I said, these second episodes is really when I like to dig in the meat of the characters, the people that we're interviewing, and when we really get to nail down and have these deep conversations that I think listen. I was listening to some recording of the head of Campbell's Soup. I've never been a big Campbell's Soup guy, but he's literally, I wouldn't, we switched to fake meat. I wouldn't feed my dog. And he's the head, the CEO, the boss man. And he's saying, I wouldn't feed my dog this stuff. And I was just having a conversation with my father not too long ago. And he said, he's a 75-year-old man from the South. So if anybody knows food, this is a 75-year-old man from the South. And he's like,
know it
tastes the same. It's not real. The fruit doesn't taste the same. The meat doesn't taste the same. And the question, I guess Jadakiss said it the best. Why? Why are they pumping us with these toxins? What is it doing to us? What kind of experiment we are? And I think that's one thing where no matter where you fall on the political spectrum, left, right, in the center, I think we can all agree a lot of these conspiracies that we used to laugh out turned out to be real. On every level. So the question is why? Why does this? I think there's give or take 8,000 billionaires in the world and 8 billion other people in the world. Why are we letting this literally a tenth of a percentage control everything? Like it really starts making you say, eat the rich. That's not what I want to be, but I think it shows this capitalism experiment might be over at this point. It really might be.
I cannot wait until the day we all wake up and start moving to a different way. And I know it's coming soon, but it could be delayed. When you're talking about the elites, and let's be real, the elites have always been there. They started back with the Rockefeller, with the trains, with the road systems, with the car systems and things upon that nature. And then it drastically got into food and agriculture. It's just a different way, especially here in America, man. We are a business. This is a business. This is the president of the United States is a business person. He doesn't care about the people. He cares about equity and growth and profit. I'm in at awe at how I don't have any control over that layer, but other than become knowing of that area and what to avoid. The Campbell Soup guy is very much so not thinking about the ingredients and what's going into each one of those cans, but he just knows that Campbell Soup's been around for 100 years, and how do we continue that legacy? And it's you want to blame those types of people for them, but like really, this was a wake up call. If a CEO of a company is saying that like I can't eat that, I wouldn't even feed my dog that, and then that shit is still on the shelves, you can go to the store right now and get a Campbell Soup, and it will be fake, absolutely fake to the T. It takes like what, maybe a fifth of a penny to 3D generate meat and all the noodles and the water and the salt and the chemicals to put in that. And once again, all that to make one Campbell Soup, that's all like different ingredients coming from different organizations.
Yep.
For one thing, for this little piece right here, Pfizer. Pfizer was the biggest company that ever came to tea when it comes to like vaccines, when it came to, especially around COVID. You heard a lot about Pfizer. Pre-COVID, you didn't really hear about Pfizer. But when you did, now they are trying to think of ways to come out of what that vaccine time was, man, and how they're doing that, man. They took over and bought an ingredient that goes into shredded cheese. Think about how many things are going into think about how many things require shredded cheese or any type of cheese. Yeah. And there's a particular stabilizer that they bought to make sure that goes into everything. So even them, they're thinking strategically on how to make more money in a time of crisis. And that's what every CEO, that's what every business person is. That's what Trump is doing right now. This is why we are in a chokehold by Israel. And we don't have to go into that because I know this is a public profile, but it is all like connected, and it's all just like, if you ever go to, like, if you work for a company, there's like an org chart you can go to, like, and see like who's the leader, CEO. That's what the countries are. That's what America is. If you look at like the org chart of who runs America, what big names are, bro, they are Jesus,
controlling every element of the story. And it's scary because I call this history book time. And I always try to be in the wrong side of history. Our theme this season is legacy. So I always try to not be on the wrong side of history. I try to be on the right side of history. And some things are just so obviously corrupt and so obviously wrong that it's funny that anybody falls for the okie doke and some of the things that they put in front of us, some of the things that we hear in the music. And there's always been people that have been tapped in that could see between the veil, the term they say is, awake from the matrix. You see a lot of red pillars talking about that. But it's really, really true when you realize these special interest groups, be it Israel, and like I said, we don't have any fear of speaking truth on this platform. It's my last season. Anyway, so what they gonna do? Cancel me?
Let's talk about it then, man, because it's unknown. It's literally unknown. It's scary.
Yeah, we wrap up in June instead of July. Ooh, okay, whatever. We really have to look at it. And this one thing, we have to speak truth to light. This is not anti-Semitism. Never has been. It's about corrupt organizations. One of them is the United States. Another is Israel. They work hand in hand. What's going on currently in Gaza and what's going on over the world. There's, I believe, 16 million Jewish people in the world. Most of them do not believe in what Israel is an apartheid state. We thought about this in the 80s, sir. This is what Nelson Mandela went to prison for. It's no different. So I have a ton of friends from every culture, and they agree with me. If you just do a little bit of research, colonialism has not ended. It never has, and I believe their end game. I don't believe that people will allow that, because at the end of the day, the people, because there's platforms that are able to speak in so many other ways that you can get news besides your main media segments that are always saying-washing what's going on. You have platforms that will speak up and say, no, this is not right. This is illegal. This is what's going on. This is history repeating itself.
It sure is.
And that's what it's really about. Now, as a musician, and as we mentioned, if you look into the boards, a lot of people are scared to speak. Some aren't. Kalani in music has been a big proponent. Every time she gets a moment, free Palestine, free Sudan, free
Yeah.
Congo, free us
Yeah.
here in the United States. There are some artists that aren't afraid of acting. Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk, for those who don't know,
Absolutely.
of speaking out. In the industry that, like I said, if you look at the heads, we all know they're all on. It seems like they're on the same side. Does that intimidate you to speak truth to light in your music, or is it just like at this point, it is what it is? That, you know, if you can stop me, you can stop me, but if you can't stop me, you can't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that give you any trepidation to create or speak about these topics in your music?
Good question. So I feel my voice is very personable to me. Anytime I write, I do think about what people might think about it, but more or less, I think about what I think about it, you know? And what I know is I know right from wrong. Thank you to my parents. My parents made me know what right and wrong. And when I say my parents, I mean my mom, my grandmother, very heavily in my heart and my life. And I will say this, what's going on is not right. They won't even know how to write this in a history book.
Right.
Anything after COVID, I
Yeah.
don't even know if we will have a history book on these things because it's just so outlandish. And a lot of things are just popping up on your For You page. You
Yeah.
know, you can learn the truth by simply just going to the right areas, but
Mhm.
they try to poison and weave it out with brain rot. And don't get me wrong, everybody likes brain rot. I got a fucking video game playing back here. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's
Sometimes
I got Plank and shit.
you need to decompress and unplug.
Yeah,
There's so much going on. It
exactly.
make you
But
absolutely insane if you didn't.
you got to do your research about everything. Anything you see on the internet, you got to do extra research on that. Anything you hear just in the passing, make sure you double tap on searching it. I become real holistic over the years, and I want to say like just recently in the last year, I became a little bit more holistic than what I thought I was by just learning more, tapping in more, not only within my inner body, my outer body, my mind, and just like going into like in different situations that I know you got to be a little bit more aware in. And even at work, I'm getting more aware of like, why are we even talking? No, not wasting time and getting to the source of the issue, getting to the source of the goal, if you will. So like, I think along with my music, man, nothing's ever going to stop me from reaching my goal. And that's the goal of the song. That's the goal of the album. That's the goal of the show. That's the goal of like any promotional things. It's not always about the end goal of getting rich and famous off my music. I've never been about that. But my mini goals of getting a project done, getting a project released, that's really where I focus a lot of my energy and time in. And when I think about like my lyrics and I think about like, especially now, like I just wrote this song called Angry, and it talks about all the different things of like being worried about what's in our food, being worried about like, am I going to see my neighbor if I walk out? Because you know, just in case ICE wants to pull up, and they're everywhere. They're in unmarked cars and everything like that, dude. It's kind of crazy, but like what I do think is I'm never going to be no one's ever going to be my biggest critic other than me. And it just is what it is. I'm going to speak my mind over that mic, whether anybody likes it or not.
Absolutely. So I mentioned earlier we do a theme every season. Our theme is legacy. So I have some perfectly designed legacy questions for you.
Yeah.
Number one, at this time, who do you believe you're becoming? Because I believe we change every day, and maybe a little bit, 0.5%, but we change every day. At this time, if you were to go back 5 years from now and you look at where you're at today, who do you think you're becoming as a man, as an entertainer, as a family member, as a friend? Where do you see that evolution taking you at this time?
I'm becoming more aware, for sure. 5 years ago, I would have said the same thing though. But in honesty, I'm humbler about it now and realizing like there was mistakes made. There was um, laziness. There was different obstacles maybe, but who I'm becoming now, obviously more aware, but more locked in. I'm more locked in than ever. Not only about my craft, about my hobbies, about my mental, about my health, everything. It's a really awesome to be in this moment and be more aware than ever. And every day I can say that we're always getting and we're always learning. I can't think of the last day that I just sit there and didn't learn something. Even in like situations where I've been doing something for 18 years, I'm learning stuff. Like, and I'm open to the idea of always being more aware, always being more open to learning, and even making mistakes. I take a mistake easier now than I did 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I didn't want to make mistakes. Now I'm eager to make those mistakes so I can learn from it and continue going and learning from and doing more without making that mistake again. I think that's where the real learning is, man. And I'm becoming more at peace at knowing that mistakes are going to come.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn, and I'm going to speak my mind in the very way that is going to, protect my integrity and my thought process. Like, because we all think differently, and nobody wants to say what they're thinking if the whole room is going to criticize them, right? So in my defense, I'm becoming more aware in what I want to say and how I'm saying it and what I'm writing and how I'm speaking into that mic. And I want everybody to understand, like, this is the most wholesome that a person can be when speaking as Jarmar Green.
I love it. I love it. Now we have a game that we've added this half of the season. It's called Six Shots to the Dome. We have six rapid
Ooh,
questions designed and curated specifically for you.
okay.
So if you're ready to rock and roll,
Yeah. Six
fame,
questions?
six shots.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Fame or respect?
Respect.
Money or ownership?
Ownership.
Love or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Bars or melodies?
Melody. Quick.
Very quick. Very quick. Pain music or party music?
Mm. I'm gonna throw you a twist on this one. It's gonna be party music with pain.
I was hoping you would say that because I was going through, well, like when I need I mentioned earlier, when I need inspiration, I go back to the pillars, the people that made me just do everything I do, and I always one of those pillars is Prince.
Mm.
And 1999 is the perfect pain and party anthem ever created. I'm writing a paper on that. When you really listen to the lyrics of Prince 1999, it's an apocalyptic song. He's literally saying, "This is it, but we're gonna party."
Yeah.
The elevator
Yep.
takes you down or whatever.
Yep.
So I think the best music is both. If I can dance while being subconsciously put these lyrics in my head, I think.
I remember this, and he killed this. You know what's funny? He made this. I think he like recorded this song and made it in like a few like hours. Like this is something that he just like natively did. He was such a good artist and writer, bro. When he made 1999, it was like some Jay-Z shit, like some Prince shit. He just went in the studio and did that shit.
Right.
That's how you know you are speaking to true to your heart. Party and pain. They go hand in hand. Why are you partying? Because you have pain.
Get rid of that pain. You need to get rid of the pain. Absolutely. And then the reoccurring thing for all of these seasons: independent or major.
Oh, independent always. I can continue to keep my voice. I don't have to be influenced by the paycheck. I don't have to be influenced by anything outside of what's in my own dome. And I want to move how I want to move, and I build my team based off like how I want to move. And if you align with how I move, then that makes a good team person.
Absolutely. And the final question before we give you an opportunity to just let the people know what's coming out as far as musically.
Mm-hmm.
If the camera's cut off right now and you could speak directly to the version of yourself that almost quit, because we always have that version where we feel like the time is up, I've misplaced my faith in these decisions I've made. What would you say to that version of yourself that almost quit?
There's no reason to quit at all. You can set it aside, come back to it, and that's okay. Time and creativity, they do not go hand to hand. You should never put a time on creativity. And that's one thing I would lean heavily on. Creativity comes with the ideas and when it's happening in that moment at that time. There's been plenty of times where I've started a song and then come back to it later, and I'm so glad I did because it just influx the ideas back onto that idea. And sometimes when you hit blocks like writer blocks or anything, it's not the fact that you don't know what to write on that project. You probably just need to be interrupted by a new project, a new sound, a new key, and a new start to go back and think of a new idea. And it always happens. Like, think about it. Like you draw a half of a square, right? Don't mess with the bottom half. You come back the next day and try to finish that. It's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be in line. It's not going to line up. Yep.
Exactly. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, nobody just wants to be in a box. They want to be outside of that box or a mold of that box. So sometimes it takes time to be able to like make that box differently.
Absolutely. True wealth is freedom. Being able to express yourself freely, think freely, live freely without influence or letting propaganda take control of your individualism. So I love that.
Absolutely. And don't get poisoned by the media, man. You got to do your research. Don't let what people put in front of you deter how you go do your own research and how you think about that and how you process that, because you really need to understand on a different level from, I'd say, always 5 to 10 points of view to be able to even get an idea.
Absolutely. Don't let anybody think for you. And everything when I see something, and we all do it, if I'm doom scrolling and I see something that's particularly offensive, before I respond, before I put any energy, I copy and paste it. I put it in Google and say, is this true? And 9 times out of 10, it's not. It was designed to anger you, or rage you, bait you, and instilling your energy and your life force. It's real energy vampires out there that you have to protect yourself from. So
yes,
I could talk to you all day, brother. The conversations are phenomenal. Please let the friends of the Den know what's going on, because they came here to know about the upcoming music. So let us know what we can expect musically, performances, appearances, anything in the world. This conversation, brother, you've earned the entire floor. So therefore, the floor is yours. Please let the friends of the Den know what's going on musically.
Absolutely. Mars, thank you so much again for the space. The second time's the charm. I love coming back into this, the Den, down at the Den. You guys are so amazing. And what's coming up next for Jarmar Green? We got a couple of projects. Obviously, the Relax project is going to be out soon. I'm doing finishing touches of that. I definitely got a video in the works on that. So I've been delaying it all year, but it's okay. It's definitely coming out. I got another project called Trio Heroes with my boy Chris C-Dab and my boy Cephas. We are trioing that one. We got a 5-song project coming out. That's in the finishing touches too. Besides that, I'm forever writing. I just got done with a song where I'm angry as hell. Why am I angry as hell? Because they're taking our neighbors. They're putting shit in our food. And I want to know why. I wouldn't even care, because there's people out there that are kidnapping grandmas.
Yeah.
Trying to get nothing. I don't know. I don't even know what that's about, right? They got a $1 million bond. They got a $1 million reward off any information off a grandma that was kidnapped.
For like 84-year-old. Like how how wise is that to kidnap someone that's 84 that literally might not make it before you can get a ransom check?
That's insane. I've never been so, and it's always on the news, man. This is like weird, and they kidnapping leaders of different countries, and you can't even go to resorts without worrying about if the bus is going to explode or somebody's going to blow up a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm writing that. This is what's in the music, man. This is the mindset of my music. So that, be on the lookout, man. Follow right here, BLK Bullet X on Instagram. You'll see it all. I can't wait to release this. I can't wait to post this. Shout out to Down at the Den, man. Some of the coolest people, some of the coolest artists that are involved in that, man. And yeah, bro, I just can't wait till more music comes out. As far as shows, I'm trying to get on at a festival that's local here in Indianapolis, and I can't wait to hear back from them and see if I can get on. But I just want to create. I've just been working my 9 to 5. I've been creating at night and just been enjoying life, man. So just tap in with me. I'm always around, always here to talk. Hey, if you're afraid of the world, know that people are also afraid and willing to talk, and we can talk through it. We can vibe through it. We can get through it together.
Absolutely. Brother, you are enlightened, you're intelligent, you're extremely talented, and I'm so grateful to have people like yourself in our little community. It's what I started this thing for, and is why I wake up every day with zero regrets, because I get to learn and meet so many talented people. And man, I appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us. Guys, please do me a favor. If you don't follow Jarmar already, please take your index finger, this one right here, and hit the follow button. If you don't have an index finger, we don't discriminate. You can use your thumb, middle, pinky, or this one right here. I don't know what they call it. That one too. And hit that follow button to make sure that you're on top of everything he does, everything he releases. And go ahead and check out the music. It is phenomenal. My batting average is 1,000 when I recommend these artists. Not to be cocky or toot my own horn, but honk. We have some great artists in the community, and Jarmar is one of them. Brother, I thank you so much. Absolutely. And guys, it's been another fantastic episode. We're going to end this one as we end every single episode. It's all about peace, love, unity, and respect. Y'all be safe out there. These are crazy times, but we got good music and great artists to make sure that we make it through to the light on the other side of the tunnel. And I do believe there's light. So all of those tuning in, thank y'all for tuning in. If you're looking at YouTube, do me a favor, turn those notifications on when our episodes drop. You can be the first to tune in. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, whatever that may be, make sure to also follow. So when these episodes drop, you'll get a notification. You can be the first to look in, learn, get some information, get some knowledge, learn about a fantastic artist, and make your life just a little bit better in these, I like to call, historically shitty times. So guys, for those who've tuned in, once again, it's mad love. We out this piece. Deuces.